This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
I bloomin' love a bargain, and I love unconventional lenses as well. So when this lens sort of appeared on eBay, when I was playing a game of Ending Soonest, I thought, well, it's worth a punt, isn't it? This is the Lensbaby Trio. 3 lenses in one, effectively. Each lens gives you a very distinct look, which I'll go through in this video. The lens itself is a 28mm, but it's a full frame 28mm, so on Micro Four Thirds that's doubled to 56mm. So it's quite narrow on Micro Four Thirds, and it gives you a plenty wide f3.5 aperture. It's full manual control, but it's very easy to focus with this, though none of the lenses are about sharp enough to trigger the focus peaking. So I would highly recommend using this on a camera that has magnification, because the focus peaking ain't gonna do anything. And it's dead simple to use. You just need to twist the thing at the front to find the lens that you want to use, and then off on your merry way you go. So what do the lenses do? The first one I want to discuss is probably my least favourite, but I think it has a couple of interesting use cases, and that is velvet. Now this reminds me of like a Vogue sort of glamour shoot style of photography. It's very, very soft, very, very bloomy, and there's not one overly sharp point in this lens. It's just all quite dreamy. I think this lens, the velvet lens, would be quite interesting for some very soft, timeless portraits. Perhaps some photography at night where you can bloom all of the lights. And I think it can give us some nostalgic, dreamy video as well. Now, because this lens is quite big, I was concerned that it might not actually mount onto certain cameras. You know, like if a camera has quite a top dome element to it, I thought it might get in the way, but I have managed to try it on dozens of cameras, and it's worked absolutely fine, from tiny cameras to big cameras and everything in between. The lens itself is made from plastic, and it's very, very light as a consequence. I wouldn't say it's flimsily made. It feels pretty decent, particularly because there's a lot of moving parts as well, but it's not going to be like the most hefty, robust lens you've ever felt. Focusing is really smooth and nice, and it's a very nice tactile shooting experience with this lens. You have a very satisfying sort of click when you change the lenses and click the next one into place. So what else can it do? Let's look at Sweet next. And I don't know, I go back and forth. I think this one might be my favorite, but I also like the next one. Sweet gives you a sweet spot, as the name might suggest. And this is the sharpest of all 3, but only in the dead center of the image. It's so sharp in the middle with such a dramatic fall off that you can sort of make tilt shift-esque photos with this, or tiny town sort of photos. And it's really nice. If you stick your subject in the middle, everything else gets nice and soft, and it's kind of interesting. Also, just as a little caveat throughout this video, this lens is fully manual and it doesn't give the camera any metadata. So if I get twist and sweet mixed up in any of these example images, I'm very sorry. Sometimes they look quite similar. Yeah, I'll try my best. Twist is probably the one that will catch most people's eye. This gives you circular swirly whirly bokeh around your subject in the middle. So the fall off is twisted, hence the name. And here's where, and I don't ever say this, here's where I wish I had a full frame version of this lens, because it is available in E-mount and Fujifilm as well, so there's APS-C as well. I think because we've got a 2x crop on Micro Four Thirds, a lot of the circular stuff is being cropped out of frame, unfortunately. So the twist effect is less dramatic on Micro Four Thirds for sure compared to the other mounts. But on the flip side of that, it might be a more subtle, more usable sort of version of twist where you get a little bit of that characteristic, but it's still relatively standard. Pros and cons. Someone make an L mount of this lens. It would be so cool. I really like twist. I think seeing the bokeh turn and twist in the corners is very, very cool. And I also like this for video as well. I might have a tinker with these for some B-roll shots. You know, you got to keep it interesting, haven't you? And one bonus creativity thing with this lens is you can also get some mad results if you half twist between two lenses. So you can do this as you're filming and you can see it happening in the footage, or you can try and find a sweet spot and get some mirrored effects in photography. It's a very creative and abstract sort of look, and it's super fun to play with. The filter thread itself is my beloved 46mm, which means I can stick my favorite do everything filter on it, the VND, CPL and mist filter. Not that Velvet needs any more mist. So you can add a ND filter and get some video out of this as well. And how cool does this setup look like? You know, you've got the twisting focus, choose your lens, choose your circular polarizer, and then choose the little lever for your variable ND. It's such a tactile, fun thing to play with, and I've really enjoyed using this lens. So what do you think of the effects? Which lens do you like best? Velvet, Sweet, or Twist? Do you think that this would be something that you can add into your collection? I should mention it's really quite cheap as well. I think I paid £190 for it, something like that. And yeah, I quite like it. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And let me just quickly talk about the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. I've used Squarespace for many a year for my website needs. Back when I was just a little blogger, chatting about nerdy things online before I got in front of the camera, to now where I run my whole business through my website, whether that's digital presets, my mailing list, my workshops and courses. Squarespace can grow with you as your needs expand, which is why I've stayed with them for so long. So if you'd like to check out Squarespace, I have a link in the description, and you can use code microphonenerds for a cheeky discount off your first purchase of a website or a domain. They've been a long-term supporter of this channel, and clicking those links really does help. So thank you as always to Squarespace.